So if you change the past, you never really are changed. Do you understand? In the news,
No.
if you don't watch it, you are woefully uninformed. If you do, you are misinformed. The greatest misjudgment of character came when you thought a woman should win this race. The Great Foundation got 4 billion of your dollars and counted, and the Haitian people are yet to see 0.1% of it, if that.
Oh, wow.
They kept it from lawmakers. The FBI inside the United States leaked all of those documents to get you leaked. There's never a rush. They can see you in your home, in your auto machine, even when you're doing your walk and the telly rings. So now we start to intervene. Because you see, they can't kill you off with disease, but they're killing you off with cures. That man is trumping deceit. He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, he does business. And the first time he looks out the window of his mighty fine, used but nice jet, and he sees 2 silver discs waving him beside it, and it's an escort, he's going to know it all. And this is a man who is not afraid. He's going to know it all.
Ramped on the Trump train for sure there. And he even mentioned time travel in the beginning. And I kind of was like, why didn't I find this during time travel Trump? But she starts off talking about time travel and then weirdly switches to the election and that we should never elected a woman. And yeah, Ramtha, Jay-Z Knight, longtime Democrat. Ramtha, short-term Trump supporter, it seems, or at least in the present.
Short term, I guess. Like, wait, at what point in the beginning were you talking about that he actually supported something? What was that in the beginning?
What do you mean? That Ramtha, I don't think has ever come out politically until recently. Which I mean, as you can imagine, the Democrats that she support weren't exactly thrilled with Ramtha's seemingly new and independent affiliation, but that hasn't slowed down Ramtha. Ramtha is now all in, and here's an article. Here's an article from this year. Now QAnon has a new group of allies, a woman who claims she's a conduit for a 35,000-year-old warrior god and her thousands of followers. Since February, at least 3 top QAnon promoters have made plans to visit a sprawling Washington state property owned by Jay-Z Knight, a New Age guru whose former acolytes have accused her of running a cult. The Cult Education Institute founder Rick Ross says Rick Ross
and Jay-Z together?
Nice.
Rick Ross.
Yeah, well, Rick Ross says that Jay-Z has become very wealthy by selling Ramtha-related materials to followers who he estimates number somewhere in the thousands. In my opinion, the group gathered around Jay-Z Knight would fit the basic criteria that I would say describes a destructive cult, Rick Ross said.
A destructive cult.
Well, former members agree with Ross's conclusion and have relayed bizarre practices within the group, releasing videos of Knight ranting against Jews and Mexicans, and Knight's group has denied the allegations, but since last year, Knight has begun to incorporate the anonymous online clues left by the anonymous QAnon into her Ramtha lore. Yes, Ramtha is now part of QAnon. In one statement from Ramtha provided to the Daily Beast by Knight's group, the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, the spirit declares that the person behind QAnon is divine intelligence. So that's it. Now,
yeah.
Yeah, I know. Look, now Ramtha has converted this cult. Remember, this started in the Merv Griffin show with a silly character, and this is where it's led in 2019. Still here.
It's QAnon.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking ridiculous. Like, for that to be the bastion that they're centering themselves behind, it's pretty stupid.
Look, I'll say no judgment on politics, but it's just bizarre that this 35,000-year-old channeled spirit would worry about things like American political climate right now. I don't. Yeah. It's
exactly that. It doesn't quite line up to the tenements that a spirit would have from, what did you say, 35,000 years back?
Yeah, it was called King Reagan of like 30 something years ago, and now it's all in. The accent's gone. You notice that's all Ramtha you heard.
did notice that. Yes, like
The
there's
silly-
no longer talking about the things that what do you call a conscience?
Yeah.
Right, that doesn't exist anymore. What you call anymore? Like
Yeah, and there's like 30% less entity now. It's changed a lot in, the 40 years, but it seems to just get a little darker and darker. But let's move on. And this final clip, this is what Ramtha is up to now. And by now, I mean this video was posted just a month or two ago.
Oh, shit.
oh wow.
This is Ramtha in 2019.
Now, before battle, we have watched this nation for 4 years. We have had 7 days to prepare the army. The western flank is mounted. I am with the western flank. The footmen, they are mounted. Shield and spear. They have not made love for 2 weeks. They have not drank wine except the day of battle. And I'm on my black horse, Shamira Dim. And it has been young men who have prepared my saddle and my horse and braided my horse's hair with bells and beads. My black horse and my robesman dresses me. And I get on my horse, my big black horse. And the drumsmen, they are ready to beat the beat of my heart and my horse's heart and the rhythm of our stride. And it is time to march.
Oh my God.
It's terrifying, isn't
Relax.
it? This is
I wouldn't say
Relax.
terrifying. Like, actually, could you possibly have that war chant as our outro song? Because I'm feeling
there you
pretty
go.
amped up by it.
I definitely think the final chapter in her, of course, has not been written, and this is where she is at right now. And it, she really loves that black horse. Let's hear the next soundboard clip about that horse.
My black horse.
Black horse. Now
Yeah.
she's got an entirely different accent.
Totally different. But when I hear that call to action and all that stuff about horses, I say to myself,
oh, there go that horse. I don't with that horse. Huh? The horse. Gotta wait till they got to the horse pass. I don't mess with horses, bro. Straight up. You might come over here and throw a tantrum. Stay inside the box. Stay inside the box. Oh. Hold up, Colt. That horse out there. The horse. Oh, she need to go ahead with that horse, goddamn. I don't fool with no
Jesus
horses,
Christ.
boy. You need to go ahead and drive that build away.
You don't like the horse?
Hell no.
I seen her on the first game.
I ain't worried about the tick. I'm worried about the horse.
yeah,
my
fuck
God.
her and that horse.
What the hell was that?
That's a very long clip.
Was that Lil Nas?
No,
Was it
but
Old Town Road? What the fuck was
I'll cut
that?
it down. I'll cut it down for you. I'll play the next 2 sound clips. That's my reaction to the end of Jay-Z Night, or where she is now.
I don't fool with no horses, boy.
Oh, good. Oh, that was
Wow.
much quicker.
That is
I loved it.
significantly shorter.
I ain't worried about the tick. I'm worried about the horse.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, that's it. Jay-Z Night and her horse. Now her horse is even scarier than she is, and she's probably still hawking these horses. But what do you think about the journey of Ramtha and Jay-Z Night, Drea?
Dude, I mean, I think you know by now, I'm pretty pissed off about the whole thing because, like I said, I can't stand when charlatans come into the scene acting like they know shit and then they give a bad name to people who actually do good work when it comes to, I don't know, clairvoyance and psychism and shit. Like, yeah, it's hard to be a psychic. I get it. People aren't. Indeed. Yeah,
Yes, indeed,
exactly.
Drea, indeed.
She's
What
not
about-
helping things.
No, she's not. She's awful. What about you, Jude? What do you think of all this?
ADD?
Entity?
Entity.
Well said.
ADD entity, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Rob? You got any final thoughts on poor Jay-Z?
It's just, it reminds me of if like Corton went down a different road and somehow ended up like Jim Jones. It's this weird. It's fucked up, man. She's fucked up. I don't like her. I don't like him.
It is fucked up. I don't like her either. And this, like I said, this is going on. So be aware. None of you guys get sucked into Ramtha. All right, please.
Oh, I will try not to. Stay away from Ramtha. Don't do street drugs and don't do Ramtha.
That's right. And let's take it out of here with another track from Jay-Z, Not Night.
Big pimpin', baby.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Big pimpin', spinning cheese. You know I thug 'em, hug 'em, love 'em, leave 'em, but I don't.
All right, and don't forget to go answer this week's poll. What will the poll be this week, Drea? What do you think?
What is your favorite Jay-Z song or
No.
album? Oh, but
No.
but I already know my answer.
Okay, well, maybe you can use it. Well, this week's poll question, how many problems does Jay-Z Knight have? And the choices will be none because Ramtha says everything's fine. Only horse-related problems or 99 or other. So, yeah, go to UnbelieversPodcast.com and answer this week's poll question. And now it's time for the Unbelievers mailbag.
The Unbelievers mailbag.
Hey man, check your mailbox.
Hey, you got some new mail over here.
Sup, bitches? It's mail time. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Woo. Okay.
Woo.
This week's mail, we have mail from Keith Miller, and it's a spooky one. It is entitled The Beast of Bogdan Moor. Is it Bodmin or Bogdan? Bodmin.
Bodmin Moore. And actually,
Not bogged in.
this was something that we talked about on one of our Patreon episodes. So maybe we'll insert a little clip from that Patreon episode right before.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I
right-
forgot
Cool.
about that.
Maybe we'll insert it right here. There's been a lot of talk about this thing. Some people don't even think it should be considered a cryptid. If you go on Wikipedia and you look this thing up, it says that the chances of it existing are extremely rare, but there's people that have caught this thing on videotape, and it's actually...
Can I guess what it is?
What do you think?
Is it those pants that walk around in California?
Oh, the skin
no.
pants. I mean, the walking pants.
It's not the...
It's not my parents? Okay.
It's not the
What are
ghost...
those
Damn it.
called?
They're
The
called-
night
Jude, Dad,
walkers.
Jude.
Night walkers?
Night crawlers.
Night crawlers or
Crawlers.
something.
Right, because you
Yep.
guys told me that if it was night walkers, those were considered prostitutes.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so go on. We'll have a future
Yeah, we did.
episode on
This
night
is not
walkers.
the night walker.
Night
This
crawlers.
one is
I love
actually, we just covered the Beast of Grunch Road last week. Well, this is the Beast of Bodmin Moor.
What?
Okay.
That doesn't sound like it's in the States. Where is that?
This is in Great Britain. This is a British story.
It's pretty grunchy.
This came out a week ago on fansided.com.
Pretty grudgy.
The article I found was
It's
called
pretty grunchy.
Call of the Cryptid, Beast of Bodmin Moor, Phantom Wildcat of Cornwall. Back in 1994, the BBC Two did a special report called The Search of the Beast. And in it, a local named Rosemary Rhodes captured some compelling footage of a large panther-like animal. And it's not your stereotypical blurry footage. It's actually good footage. And there's people, specialists and cat specialists have the top cat hair people came and they looked at these pictures and these videos. There's one who says that it is not a house cat; it's a black leopard. And
Okay.
And then there's another guy who says that he's 100% sure it's a puma.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
makes
because those
sense.
come in black.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And,
so far this makes sense.
It does. Although big cat attacks are rare, a local named Jane Fuller says that she was attacked by a huge black cat under a full moon. So
Werecats.
Wait. So I'm thinking American Werewolf in London vibes here. Now, what year did this happen? 94. So American Werewolf in London had already happened in like 82 or something. So go on.
yeah, and the Sun is the one who published the picture of the mere house cat. So that didn't really do very well for the reputation of this cryptid. But there was an account, someone who says that they heard this thing, and they said it had a terrifying scream that sounded unusually human. So
They do that. They do that.
you know, it seems like this thing could be some sort of a cat.
Oh, that was a
Oh, that was so cool.
Dang.
Let's hear this mail with the spooky sound from Keith Miller. And he says,